Hey,
Ew,
everybody.
ew.
Welcome back
Woo.
on a Wednesday. As you can see, the Mac is back.
Right.
Return of the Mac, if you will.
Ooh. I wish I
Uh,
would have I would have played that. Oh well.
Going super big today, making their debut with all teams in action
That's right.
across the spectrum of
That's right.
ESPN networks. And really, there's never been a better time. I think it's one of the one thing that we can all agree on right now is that we need the
Need
Mac.
some action. Need some action. Absolutely.
Need some action in our
In,
lives.
in these dark and desperate times,
Woo! Yes, to say
it's
the least.
the light that guides us.
But here we are. Hopefully, you guys are safe, doing well out there, um, clinging to the little sports morsels we have right now, such as the Mac, which we will get into.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler, how are you doing this evening?
Doing all right. Feel a little bit sluggish today. Couldn't sleep last night for whatever reason. Had nothing to do with what everybody probably naturally thinks it does.
Liar!
Just couldn't sleep, so I feel a little bit sluggish today, but definitely got that rejuvenation in the afternoon when the MAC kicked off. Enjoyed bits and pieces of all the games there. But Ronnie, how you doing today?
Actually, I slept great because
Nice.
I put on the news, watching the election, and about 20 minutes into it, it was from all sides so depressing that
Yes.
I woke up this morning clutching a bottle of bourbon in my underwear with "Don't Worry, Baby" by the Beach Boys on repeat. But I believe I must have got at least 16 hours of sleep, so I'm all right.
Hell of a song choice. I love that.
Just
Absolutely love that.
something to soothe my jangled nerves. I think it played 641 times on a continuous repeat last night. But beyond that, it is what it is. I'm sure this will probably go on for 6 months. Yeah.
Yep.
So Anyway, we'll move on from that. Mac is here to soothe our jangled nerves, but a couple little stories off the top. Checking on the comments. Also, shout out to Nick. Return of the Mac. Thank you.
Nice. Yep.
Get that hashtag trending on all social media platforms. Just a couple little bits and pieces before we get into, obviously the Mac and other football in general. We got a Thursday night game, maybe tomorrow.
Hopefully.
And we'll see what happens there. But just little bits and pieces here. First of all, as you know, we are the NBA bubble show of record on the Quarantine Network. There is no bubble coming up, but a lot of questions about when the season is going to start. It does appear to be. Actually, this is a really good article I read. A little bit of it from Zach Lowe, one of the ESPN NBA guys. And then you could see Woj retweeted that, which it ain't a hit till Woj spit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Woj drops it. It's not.
You can put your money on it then.
So it looks like probably within the next, I'd say, 48 hours, we are going to have an agreement in place between the players and the union to probably start the game the season right before or on Christmas. But it looks like either way they're going to be playing on Christmas. And of course, the bubble just kind of wrapped up less than a month ago. So there's been some back and forth with the players when to start the season, when they would like to. But it seems like if you read the article, it goes more into detail. Adam Silver kind of really went for the hard sell here as far as the amount of money that would be lost by delaying the start of the season. Somewhere around, I believe, $500 million.
That's all?
Nah. Yeah, that's all. And it's 500 days in the bubble if you break it down that way.
That's true.
But that also trickles down to the players getting paid. So that's sort of the real aspect of it if you are a player. I know it is a little interesting because, yes, it is a short off season. But on the one hand, at some point, obviously this is already affecting the next season. So as far as the COVID thing, even if that situation improves, this is now going to spill into 2 seasons. And the NBA is not the only league, obviously. But in their case, they would probably be the first one to resume a new season, when this whole thing's going on. And it could potentially affect 3 seasons at this point, depending on when the season ends.
Sure.
But I'm kind of thinking about it from the standpoint of it definitely sucks for the teams that were in the finals because they had the least amount of time off. But realistically speaking, what 15 to 18 teams were only, I mean, there was teams that didn't even go to the bubble. Then there was teams that was there for 3 weeks or whatever it was. So yes, the two finalists are going to be most affected by this.
Mm-hmm.
But as I always side, and Tyler's pretty much on board with me as far as it goes, with contracts, holdouts, things like that. I'm always on the side of the players getting their money.
Absolutely.
But the flip side of that is it wouldn't really be a strike or anything like that, but holding out, missing games, missing checks, you're not making that up at the end of your career. Like the end of your career is someone telling you no one's willing to pay you money anymore. So
right.
It's kind of like get the money while you can get the money. So
that's
what I think.
The end of your career is you sitting on a bench hoping you're on a team that's going to win the championship so you can get that ring that you've been, that you couldn't get during your prime.
Right. So I think that has sort of steered the players toward, I mean, even during the bubble when it was shut down for a minute and then they all agreed to resume it. The union, the head of the union or the players rep, Chris Paul, and representatives from the union made it very clear there is big financial implications for you guys. If we don't finish this, if you don't play these games, it's going to cost you X, Y, and Z money-wise. Mm-hmm. So I see that this is probably going to happen. I know, obviously, if you are a player being in the bubble, I'm sure it sucked. And not having as much time off definitely also sucks. There's probably going to be some injury implications from this. Plus, another thing I was thinking about is the draft. I think the draft is coming up in like 2 or 3 weeks, probably, if this goes through.
Real quick. Yeah.
And then maybe you're talking about 3 weeks after that, you're in training camp or about ready to start the season. So the whole timetable is going to be kind of crazy. But I think from a player standpoint, Silver did really make this work the best he could as far as the bubble thing, the social justice things. He was working with everyone, trying to get them on board to participate in this thing. And I don't blame him at all for just like, here's the fact, like, not only is the league going to lose this much money, that's your guys' money too. So like, we got to look at this from dollars and cents standpoint. And it certainly seems like from all the, not just Woj, but the other insiders that this is going to be agreed upon in the next, like I said, 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're just kind of right on the nail in that. It always comes down to money. Wu-Tang had it right. Cash rules everything around me. If having a shortened off season is the best way to fill those players' pockets, fill the owners' pockets, they're going to do what they got to do. It'll be odd. I mean, like I've heard Callum talk about it before. I think he actually even left something in the chat here about kind of what their scheduling will be if they go to that shortened season. You won't be able to have just kind of like that regular, 2 games against the other conference, 4 games against your own conference. You're going to have to kind of mix up and, maybe just go straight, West only plays West, East only plays East. They've got schedulers that figure that stuff out. But, I mean, like, yeah, it's definitely going to suck for, guys like, Jimmy Butler and LeBron James that kind of left it all out and are probably going to, would probably love to have 3 months to recover. But, it's just a reality situation, man. This is
Meanwhile, the Warriors totally rested.
All feeling good. Yep.
Looking at their, number 2 pick. They still have Steph Curry. They still have Klay Thompson. Draymond's coming back.
Yeah.
Could be interesting. But, it's a tough thing to say because, like, if you push it back later than around Christmas time, which I always, when they start doing the Christmas games, that's sort of like a marquee day for the NBA. They have all-day NBA games. Yeah. And I've always kind of felt like, that does kind of suck, because you're going to spend at least a big portion of your day on Christmas away from your family. But it's been a big boon for them, and a lot of people in the previous years have said, well, the real season doesn't start until Christmas, because now we're starting to get into like how the divisions are going to shake out and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm sort of looking at Callan's comment here too. I'm not sure you could pull off any kind of conference versus conference regular season play. It may have to be confined to just East, and West. And everyone, from everything I've heard, Woj, other insiders, and think there's not going to be any kind of bubbles, regional bubbles, even anything like that. So the other thing you have to take into consideration is, let's just be realistic. COVID is going to infiltrate the NBA at some point. Like, it's just going to happen. Guys are traveling, getting on planes. They're going to, yes, it's more flexible along the lines of baseball or something like that, where you can make up games, as opposed to football, where now we're losing a week or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is probably the only realistic way they could go right now, as far as minimalizing the losses money-wise, and also, like I said, setting yourself up for the next season. And we have the Olympics also coming up in the summer.
I was just going to bring that up, as the U.S. Olympic Committee probably won't be getting necessarily the best, because you're looking at some guys that will be coming straight off the NBA finals. Like, they probably won't want to go play, because they'll just be exhausted. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what the Olympic basketball team looks like next year with this. I mean, they may just have to pick all the best guys from like the bottom half, bottom tier teams that couldn't make the playoffs.
Oh my God! Now that you said that, I just had a amazing fantasy in my brain. Now that J.R. Smith is a 2-time NBA champion, what if he goes on the Olympic team? I mean,
yes,
he's a shooter.
Yes,
those shooters, they thrive in international play.
Oh gosh, yes.
Can you imagine gold medalist J.R. Smith?
Oh,
shirtless gold medalist J.R. Smith.
Oh yeah, him like standing on the podium, just no shirt, national anthem being played,
bottle of Hennessy in hand.
Beautiful.
I don't know, but yeah, that does give me hope for the future. Going over to Nick here, does anyone think this NBA season will adopt some of the features from the bubble, such as the wild card play-in game for the 8th seed? I think that's going to be done away with, from what I've heard. Again, nothing is agreed upon between the players and the actual league right now, so that will all kind of come out in the wash once the deal is signed, but I don't think that's on the table right now.
I could see that being something maybe in the future, but they seem so time crunched by this season. I don't think they'll make time for it. But it was, I mean, I kind of enjoyed enjoyed that aspect of this season. So maybe it's something they bring back in the future. But this year, I don't think it will happen.
Yeah, so I haven't heard anything as far as that being really on the table yet. But like Tyler said, you have to look at sort of just the optics of, all right, these are going to be kind of de facto playoff games on TV, which brings the revenue up. So all that's the thing with kind of every league. I mean, baseball, whatever it is, football, they have this like super mega like break glass in case of emergency 16-team playoff thing.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully most of that does not carry over, but really from league to league, anything's still on the table at this point, just from a scheduling standpoint.
Yeah.
And then Callan, thank you, Stats and Research
Department. Researcher is
November 18th. So yeah, that's going to be a kind of like, all right, cool, you're signed. You get to wear your suit, your crazy suit for one day, and now we're going to training camp.
Exactly.
But I just wanted to check in on the NBA because it feels like that bubble just ended. So I thought that was appropriate to dive into there. A couple other things real quick. We do have the Champions League going on. It is early stages, so you're
about
not really seeing.
About halfway through the group stage here.
Yeah, we're not seeing top matchups there, and you don't really see any shocking score lines there, except for PSG. But Leipzig's strong, and PSG
good. Yeah.
PSG just hasn't really looked that good. I don't know if I would say it's going to be a hangover from being in that final last year, but they haven't really impressed me. Obviously, all the big dogs there getting the wins. Looking at the Juventus score, 4-1. We did have the return now that he is Rona-free. And this picture just made me laugh of Ronaldo with mask and crazy eyes and buzz cut and all. So he was back. I think he had an
sweet
assist.
tracksuit.
Yeah, he had, I think, an assist. Excuse me. Or possibly 2 today. But just noteworthy with that is that he's already the all-time leading goal scorer in the Champions League. And I believe that also makes him the all-time assist leader in the Champions League. So Ronaldo is back in good health. I'm not a huge Ronaldo fan, but I'm glad he's healthy.
For sure. I do apologize for the dog. He tends to bark at nothing right around the time we always record. So bear with me on that one.
And then one little bit of other soccer news, just globally speaking. Maradona, one of the all-time greats, probably top 5 dead or alive kind of guy. Still alive. Still kicking. Did have a emergency brain surgery, so that's not anything just to sniff at. I think he had an aneurysm in his brain. There was a little bit of fluid or something there, but it looks like all the latest reports I've seen that he is awake, lucid, and probably going to recover from this. And like I was telling Tyler before the show, if mountains of illicit substances cannot take this guy down, what's an aneurysm?
Yeah, that's gonna be nothing to him.
He's one of the all-time greats, and also one of the all-time great partiers in just life history. So I think this won't be the thing to take him down, but I'm glad that he is doing well. Like you can see, obviously one of the all-time national heroes in Argentina. People outside the hospital putting up banners, praying for him, all that stuff. But hopefully he is on the uptick there.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. Brain aneurysm, I guarantee that, man. With if all the stories are to be believed of his partying, that means probably just partied through like 8 heart attacks in his life. So brain aneurysm, not gonna slow down.
Yeah, maybe that he just didn't even realize what's going on. He's like, I guess that was a heart attack. But yeah, him and like I said, Keith Richards. I'm not sure they could be killed.
Not by conventional means, no.
No, definitely not. And last thing, as we sort of just branching out, we did have the Gold Glove winners come out today.
Yesterday during the election. Great call, MLB.
They snuck that out during the election. Classic news dump by MLB. Arenado, unfortunately for Padre fans, but I mean, it's hard to argue with Arenado. I think he's won like 7 or 8 of these now.
This is 8 in a row.
Yeah. Mookie Betts, love to see it. As you can see, I have my Dodgers champion T-shirt swag on.
Mookie getting his 5th in a row, but his 1st in the National League.
But shout out to the Padres, Trent Grisham.
Yeah.
That center field Gold Glove. I guess that'll be an asterisk as well, Padre fans. If you want to asterisk things, then you can asterisk that. But good for him. And, man, the American League, that is getting wild because I'm going to be honest, probably about half of these guys, I didn't even know what team they were on.
Yeah, 2 Indians, 2 Mariners, 2 Rangers. Just kind of a wild AL selection. Of course, Alex Gordon, who did announce his retirement, he got his, I believe that was his 8th overall, maybe like his 4th in a row, I think. Griffin Canning, my dad's an Eagles fan. I don't even know if my dad knows who Griffin Canning is. It's just
he is a guy.
I think he's completely made up. I'm not even sure he's a real player. Anthony Rizzo, I think this is his 3rd or 4th in a row as well. So I mean, some familiar names, definitely a lot of new names on there, but that's what the 60-game season will bring you, man. Is kind of cut out 2/3 of the season, and you just got to go with what you see.
Yeah, and maybe it has something to do with MLB just sort of dropping that in there on election night when people aren't really looking at them right there. But always noteworthy, when these come out. So let's get into the football.
Yeah, buddy.
A couple things right off the top. We'll start with the college world. As you know, we teased the MACtion. Just unrelated to MACtion. Wisconsin is going through a kind of a precarious situation right now. I know, Tyler, you are our Big Ten insider here, but
Yeah.
the clock is really ticking a lot faster than people think, to where they may not even be able to finish this season if they are not able to actually have a game, I think within the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, so the Big Ten schedule did not really allow for makeup games, and if you miss a certain number of games, you are ineligible to compete for the Big Ten championship at the end of the year, which again means that you can't, if you can't play in that, you're not going to a big bowl game, you're not going to a playoff. So Wisconsin cannot afford to miss another game. That's looking pretty rough for them. I also did see that just before we jumped on, that Louisville also postponed their game this weekend against Virginia, as they had 15 people test positive for COVID as well. So that shit is still out there. It's still doing its thing, I guess. That's how you want to put it. But looking pretty rough for college football.
Well, and the other thing too, I mean, currently, correct me if I'm wrong, Wisconsin is like top 15 or maybe even number 10 right now.
I believe they're top 15.
Yeah, so this is just going to continue. We already talked about, yes, okay, now if you do restart the NBA season and you throw these guys on planes, going to hotels, whatever, I mean, they're not, just going to be out doing probably normal NBA nightlife things to sort of clean that up a little bit, but some will, I'm sure. And it's just going to be there. Like, you're not going to get around it, and then you're just going to have to work around that schedule-wise. College football really has a much bigger problem to deal with, I think, than any of the professional leagues, because there's so many different quote-unquote organizing bodies involved between the leagues and the conferences. So this could be probably, well, for sure, if that doesn't in fact happen, where they cannot finish the season, the most high-profile, again, not death-wise, but like team-wise, casualty of the COVID era of college football. So definitely something to just keep an eye on there. But in way more positive news, the MAC is back.
Yes.
The MAC is back. This is a tweet that just made me laugh from the actual MAC official Twitter. And let's see if I have the score. Well, I have the scoreboard from right before we went on air, but I think some of those games went final, so I'm just going to get a up-to-date one.
Yeah, I did see I did see the Central Michigan Ohio battle, which looks like it was the closest battle going on. That one did finish. In fact, actually, no, there's only one game going on right now. I think Toledo and Bowling Green is still happening, which Toledo's dominating that one. But always happy to see MACtion. Give me that weeknight football. You don't really know what you're going to get game to game from them, and I think that's part of the excitement of the MAC as well.
That is the charm.
Like, sometimes
bad, questionable players. Yes, they're Division I football players, but it's Division I football.
Yeah, sometimes you'll just get like these amazing, just blow away game of the year contenders, and sometimes you'll get you'll get Dallas and Philadelphia. But I mean, I just love every second of it. The MAC is absolutely one of my favorite things about college football.
Western Michigan, have a day, 58 points, hung on Akron.
Man,
getting loose on them. And I was talking to Tyler about this before the game. I'm pretty much indifferent towards Barstool. I know there's a lot of like super Barstool, like cult always fans, and there's a lot of mega haters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like down the middle. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't like the wild Boston slant of things, but whatever. Beyond that, I mean, they do have a lot of good content out there, and they've been all over this MACtion, particularly Big Cat. So check out Big Cat Barstool on Twitter. He has been wall to wall with MACtion coverage on this opening day, and there's some great a chronologue of just clips, facts from the games. Definitely recommend checking out his Twitter feed today.
Yeah, he had a nice highlight, like minute and a half highlight reel of MACtion that Ronnie had sent to me kind of before we jumped on there. It's it's beautiful. Just refs just getting blasted by players on the field. 60-yard field goals that go like 40 yards wide to the left. Just absolutely beautiful stuff. But and of course, in true MACtion also tonight, was it the Central Michigan? Yeah, the Central Michigan Ohio game. Actually, just before halftime, they lost power in the stadium, which
Yes.
you can find the photos of that out there on Twitter as well.
I told Tyler too. Literally, as soon as I turned it on, I turned on the TV before I walked out here to get set up. The very first actual play I saw was a bizarre fumble on like just a broken play, but it was like a weird I've never seen a quarterback fumble like this going forward. The running back that was already gone. Like at that point, you just kind of eat it, throw it away, whatever. But I don't know what he was doing. But I was like, yes, all right, Mac is back, and there is hope. There's hope for the future.
Yeah, I think we're only getting it for 3 weeks too. I think after 3 weeks they're going back to just playing all games on Saturday. But enjoy it while we have it, because the weekday sports action is
middle of the week is that's going to be some of the best stuff you're going to get.
Yeah.
Let's swerve over to the pro ranks now.
Okay.
And of course, wish Justin, our Cowboys insider, was here to discuss. But the Dallas Cowboys are, I guess, it's the end of the DiNucci era already. Before
leave the memories alone.
Before it even had a chance to really begin.
Oh man!
But
leave the memories alone on that whole one start.
It looks like it's going to be Garrett Gilbert or Cooper Rush. Shout out to the MAC, Central Michigan legend Cooper Rush. Going to get the start, one of them too, this weekend against the Steelers. So have fun with that. But maybe the Steelers just overlooked that game and it's not too much of a bloodbath, but I doubt it. And this was, from the Cowboys Twitter account, but the other file photo I have of both Garrett Gilbert and Cooper Rush in the same place, I believe I have it here. Yes.
That looks like them, yeah.
Two athletic specimens here.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is, those are your choices, Cowboy fans. It's been a weird year. It's been a real weird year.
Yeah, I mean, you pointed out to me kind of just before we went on air as well. It's like, man, just think about the year that Andy Dalton has had, where it's like, okay, I just, I signed, I know I'm going to be a backup, but I'm on a contending team. Now the star quarterback gets hurt, so I can step in. And he's absolutely more than capable. There's no question about that. And then he just gets massively concussed. So now he's out for a couple weeks. And then when he's finally cleared to come back, I believe he's on the COVID list. So
he got the Rona.
That's I'm not an Andy Dalton lover. I'm an Andy Dalton hater. I'm pretty neutral to the guy, but God, you got to feel for the guy. That is rough.
Yeah, that is tough. And I'm sure, well, we've talked about it before. Actually, we talked with our Cowboys insider after Monday's show, a little bit after the show. Mm-hmm. But really felt like the Cowboys would just be hammering the phones. Who is out there? Fitzpatrick, Cam Newton, potentially. It doesn't look like he's going to be there next year in New England.
Matt Ryan was kind of on the trade block for a time.
And just nothing came of it. So now you're just riding out with Cooper Rush or Garrett Gilbert. And we will see what the heck happens.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was the Wisconsin one.
Yeah, not a good look for him. But in other NFL news, tomorrow night we are going to have a Thursday night football game that kind of, allegedly, yes, we do. We always say allegedly. That, on paper, even a week ago, looked like it could be an enjoyable game, which we don't really get in Thursday night football. We got the Packers taking on the Niners. I can't remember, is the game in Green Bay or in San Francisco? It's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Or in Santa Clara.
Makes it even more in question, which we'll dive into shortly.
But yeah, so again, a week ago, that looks like a pretty solid game. I mean, Green Bay's kind of struggled a little bit the last couple of weeks, but still solid team. San Francisco was on the upswing, looking good. Of course, now they are going to be missing Jimmy Garoppolo. They are going to be missing George Kittle. And now there are issues of COVID as well within the 49ers organization.
Yeah, the facility was shut down today. Several players tested positive. So, hence I say, we'll see if they play tomorrow. I haven't heard anything definitive as far as if that game is going to be canceled.
Yeah.
But just, man, this is what we were talking about before. Thursday night football, you might get, one or two, like, all right, that looks kind of appealing matchups per year. When these are not going to be, like, flexed around. 49ers, Packers, cool. A lot of fans, coast to coast. People will watch. NFC Championship game rematch.
Yeah.
And now everyone on the 49ers is hurt or has the Rona. Packers, some of the shine came off them last week when Dalvin Cook just ran all over them for like 1,000 yards. And, yeah, I mean, their run defense is really bad. I know
it's bad. Yeah.
It's been sort of, it was kicking around. Maybe you take a run at like J.J. Watt. Like, does he want to leave Houston? Just kind of like a rental thing. Nothing happened there. But it almost doesn't matter who is the running back for the other team. If they are a professional football player, you're going to eat against the Packers. Because
got a strong back, they can use you.
That is like the most glaring weakness I think everyone in the NFL can see as far as the Packers are concerned. But we'll see if they play the game. I hope they do. I mean, of course, now I hope they do with the very lean times that we're looking at.
Yep.
But I almost was sort of thinking about this today. Like, does it get to a point where the NFL just says, we're just going to have everyone take a bye for a week? Like, we'll just kind of reset. Because them trying to plow through everything, like, we're going to finish the season, we're going to play all the games, we're not going to have the Super Bowl in May or, something ridiculous. Wouldn't it kind of be benefit? I mean, it would suck, like no red zone, no fantasy, whatever. But as far as realistically finishing a whole season, it kind of makes sense just to like, all right, halfway through, we're just going to have a week where no one plays, go into the team facilities, totally sanitize again, make sure everyone's good and healthy, like isolated if they did test positive, whatever. And maybe that's still on the table, but it just seemed like that kind of makes sense to me. Like maybe build one of those in, because the scheduling problems in the NFL just get so complicated if you miss games or have to make teams miss their bye week. Like the Steelers have already had to deal with that. The Chargers, who have not had any problems with COVID, have had their schedule changed the most of any team because of the trickle down of like, the Titans and then this and that. I don't know, that feels like something they might want to consider to me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at that point in time, you got to kind of work out like, okay, like if we got the other buy-in here, we got to, maybe readjust schedules so everybody plays equal amount of games. Like I'm not sure how that would actually work out. I don't think it's a terrible idea, especially considering like, I guess it wouldn't really be an issue for them, like worrying about booking facilities for the future. Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
like
I'm just saying like an entirely dead week. So
yeah, no. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You may end up with 2 weeks off if it was your bye, whatever. But
right,
just
no,
to like,
I'm just talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about like for the future, like for the playoffs or for the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, yeah, you got the Super Bowl, whatever stadium the Super Bowl's at, you got to book this year, but you can push it a week back because who else is going to be using the stadium, the very next week? So, yeah, I mean, I think it's possible. Again, they've got people that sit there and work on the schedule. That is their job, so they could probably figure something out. It may not be the worst idea. I haven't seen anybody ever like really talk about that outside of you right now, but I don't think it's an awful idea.
I was thinking of like more of, okay, what would be the most straightforward? Yes, okay, worst case scenario, the Super Bowl gets pushed back a week. So far, they have kept on the pace, but other than that, really, it seems like might be your best bet. Just like easiest, like cut and dry. No one show up to the facility. Everyone stay home. Make sure everyone tests, negative, and then we just go right back at it.
Honestly,
seems like
go ahead.
The amount of people involved, like beyond players, coaches, staff, traveling, everything like that. Like it's like moving armies around, the size of these crews. So it's almost like, what else would you do besides that?
It actually, I was just kind of thinking in my head, like, you know, even if you're worried about moving the Super Bowl, you don't have to move the Super Bowl. You could just maybe not do the Pro Bowl. Like,
yeah. I don't think anyone would be mad about
push the playoffs back, push the start of the playoffs back 1 week, so that way you just go from the conference championship 1 week right into the Super Bowl next week instead of just that dead Pro Bowl week.
And I don't even know if
nobody cares
Pro
about
Bowl this week. It seems like something that maybe is not even scheduled to happen because it's really no one cares about the game. Although anyone that bets on the Pro Bowl, you are
please call a hotline. You
are my hero. But yes,
you have a real problem.
Of course, entertainment purposes only, and
yes.
seek help.
Yes, 1-800-GAMBLER, please.
A legend in the saddest way possible, but it's really more about the fans. You know, there's the whole like, oh yeah, meet and greets. They have the old school guys playing like flag
really
football
do that
on the
this
beach.
year.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, what's the point? Also, you're gonna have to take those guys and make them travel another week, whether it's in Florida or wherever.
Sure.
So yeah, maybe just don't have the 2 weeks, the extra week off before the Super Bowl, and just do it that way. I don't know, because the scheduling is just going to get weirder and weirder. And, well, I guess fantasy football playoffs would certainly be affected, but we'd figure it out.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I guess if everybody had a bye week, it wouldn't be really affected by fantasy football. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm sure they've got people that consider something like that. Again, I've never even heard anybody really express that outside of you right now. So maybe we'll hear more talk about that. I don't know. Maybe it'll pick up steam, and it's all because of you.
Credit to me.
Yeah, there you go.
That was just a random thought that I had. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
look, we know Goodell is watching this, so
he is. He's a diehard follower.
Never misses an episode.
He's a little embarrassed. You know, he doesn't like to call in or comment, but you know, he direct messages us, and you know, we go back and forth for hours into the night after the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knows if he called in, we would be obliged to boo him. So
yeah, that's true. Nobody wants that.
Nobody.
And then the comments get going. Everyone boos him.
Yeah, it's just it's a whole thing.
Get out of hand. I don't want to drag him through that.
Right.
But we'll see what happens with the NFL. First things for just right off the bat. Hopefully they get this game off tomorrow safely. Mm-hmm. They're not going to just totally risk it. I don't think, even the NFL with their aggressive scheduling. If they can't go, they can't go. But we'll see what happens. And that's pretty much it. I will be in Vegas over the weekend.
Nice.
So hopefully get some sportsbook action on Sunday. I'm flying, so I don't have to worry about the long death march slog of a drive back on the 15th.
Don't pull a Dale. Remember, man, if you're going to get those bets in on the weekend, you get there early. Don't wait till 8:30 to try and get your bet in, because you will not make it to the booth.
Fatal mistake. Yes.
Yep.
TBD if we will keep our streak alive and have a program for you guys, however long it may be on Friday. But enjoy the NFL. I mean, no other games so far have been affected. Like I said, this week off thing was just like hypothetical. You know, that's not in motion or anything. I'm just kind of like,
not yet.
Maybe can happen.
Yet.
But
we'll talk to you, Goodell, after the show.
Yeah, I'll see what old Raj is up to and try to take his temperature, see what he's feeling, and I'll link it out to you guys with discretion, of course. But that's pretty much all I had. Looking forward to football, college and professional on the weekend, and we'll just see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else. There wasn't a whole lot of news today. Again, that happens when you don't have sports outside of MACtion. Thank God for them, because otherwise I'd probably be going insane today if we didn't have MACtion. Just because I do not want to watch the election coverage. And there's really nothing else going on. So thank God for MACtion. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we do love you guys. I don't really know what the schedule is today. I know we went a little bit longer. We were led to believe that there is no anti-bev tonight. So if there is, we are very sorry for going over.
Oh, God.
Didn't even think about that. But stick around, check out Quarantine Network, of course. Check the schedule, see what's going on there. We may be back here Friday. We'll figure something out. If not, Ronnie, enjoy Vegas. Don't go too
I'll be
crazy.
back. Worst case scenario, I'll be back with a full report for you guys Monday.
There we go.
And, well, just stay tuned to see what happens as far as Friday's program going off or not.
I may be, keep your phone by you. I may be Venmoing you some money to lay some bets for me.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
But, anyways, guys, stick around here. Check everything out on the Quarantine Network. We love you guys. As always, keep the fire.
Keep the fire.
As a buzzer.